routine train journey took a spine-chilling turn when I found myself trapped at an abandoned railway station. Unforeseen circumstances led me to venture out onto the platform, setting the stage for a night of terror as I encountered an otherworldly entity that defied all understanding. The train's abrupt stop at an isolated station was unsettling. My curiosity got the better of me, and I stepped out into the frigid air. The station was shrouded in an eerie silence, devoid of any sign of life. I had no intention of staying long. I only sought a glimpse of the desolate surroundings. As minutes turned into hours, the station's loneliness began to consume me. The cold was biting, and I was eager to return to the warmth of the train. However, a chill ran down my spine as I realized that the train had departed, leaving me stranded. Panic surged, and my focus shifted to finding a way out. Amid the gloom, I spotted a figure in the distance. My heart raced as I saw her approach, an ethereal, yet haunting presence. She appeared as a woman, her features indistinct, but her eyes burned with an unsettling intensity. Her very presence exuded an aura of malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. As I turned to flee, the entity's movements quickened. Panic surged through me as she began to chase, her footsteps echoing in the empty station. The sound of her pursuit reverberated in the stillness, intensifying my fear. I ran, desperate to escape her grasp, my heart pounding against my ribcage. To my horror, the entity called out my name, her voice a chilling whisper that seemed to slither through the air. Each syllable dripped with a malevolent intent, and the sensation of being pursued by an unknown force was overpowering. The walls of the station seemed to close in, and I felt trapped in a nightmarish loop. I could feel her presence closing in, a sensation that defied logic. When I dared to glance back, I saw her. Her appearance had changed, her features twisted into a grotesque visage. A grotesque grin spread across her face, sending a wave of terror coursing through me. As the entity closed in, my survival instincts kicked in. Adrenaline surged through my veins, propelling me forward. With every ounce of strength, I pushed myself to run faster, the echo of my footsteps mingling with her sinister laughter. The next train was finally in sight, and I hurled myself through the open door. Gasping for breath, I leaned against the train's interior, my heart still racing from the encounter. The entity remained trapped on the other side, her menacing laughter echoing in my mind. As the train began to move, carrying me away from that forsaken place, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had glimpsed a realm beyond our understanding, a dimension where the living and the spectral intersected. The encounter left me haunted, reminding me that even in the most ordinary of places, the unknown can lurk, waiting to shatter our perception of reality. I was a construction worker and I have a scary story to share. Back days, I was working at a railway station and it was closed for some time because of the construction work. One evening, when all of the coworkers were gone and I was packing to go home, I found something strange. In a dimly lit corner of the abandoned railway station, I stumbled upon an entrance that appeared to be a forgotten tunnel. It was a chilling discovery, the air within it carrying a sinister weight. My curiosity got the best of me, and against my better judgment, I decided to explore its depths. As I ventured deeper into the tunnel, the walls seemed to close in around me, and the sounds of distant echoes grew louder. My flashlight flickered sporadically, casting eerie shadows that danced along the walls. Each step felt heavier, like I was descending into a realm of darkness and uncertainty. After what felt like an eternity, the tunnel abruptly opened up into a cavernous chamber. My light revealed strange markings etched onto the walls, symbols I couldn't decipher. The air grew colder, and a sense of dread washed over me. My instincts screamed at me to turn back, but a perverse curiosity held me in place. A faint rustling sound echoed through the chamber, and my heart raced. I swung my flashlight around, and my breath caught in my throat. In the dim light, I saw a figure, human-like but grotesquely distorted. Its eyes glinted with an otherworldly malice, and its limbs contorted at unnatural angles. Fear rooted me in place as the creature drew closer. Its breath was a raspy whisper, sending shivers down my spine. I was trapped, the narrow passage behind me offering no escape. My mind raced, desperately seeking a way out as the creature's chilling presence drew nearer. With a sudden burst of adrenaline, I turned and sprinted deeper into the tunnel, the creature's guttural growls echoing behind me. Panic fueled my every step, and the walls seemed to close in even tighter as if the tunnel itself conspired against me. My heart pounded in my ears as I fought to outrun the horror chasing me. Just as my energy waned and the creature's ghastly fingers grazed my shoulder, I stumbled upon a hidden crevice in the wall. Without hesitation, I squeezed into it, heart pounding wildly. The creature's enraged roars echoed through the tunnel, fading into the distance. I remained hidden, my breath shallow, until the ominous silence assured me that I was alone. I preferred to stay there for some time. I witnessed a nightmarish tableau. A saw that creep stood hunched over, its gnarled hands clutching the remains of its grisly feast, the hunted humans it had captured. Its eyes gleamed with malevolent satisfaction, and a chilling realization washed over me. This abomination wasn't just a predator, it was a calculated and merciless hunter, lurking in the shadows of the tunnel, feeding on its helpless victims. My very presence had disrupted its macabre ritual, and the creature's eerie, hungry gaze looking for me. Panic and horror entwined as I realized the peril I was in. I was face to face with a creature that existed only to hunt and to kill. I waited until there was complete calmness and quietness in the tunnel. Gathering what remained of my courage, I cautiously emerged from my hiding spot. With the help of my flickering flashlight, I retraced my steps through the tunnel, praying that the creature had truly left me behind. Eventually, I emerged back into the moonlight, my clothes damp with sweat and my mind haunted by the nightmarish encounter. The railway station appeared unchanged, as if nothing had transpired. But the tunnel's memory would forever linger, a chilling reminder that some horrors are better left undiscovered. Being stranded at a railway station, with its eerie silence and dimly lit platforms, can quickly turn into a nightmare. This is my story of how I found myself trapped at such a station, the terrifying encounter I had with a stranger, and my desperate fight to escape. It was a misty evening when my train unexpectedly stopped at a small, seemingly deserted railway station. The announcement crackled through the speakers, revealing nothing more than a vague delay due to technical issues. I gazed outside to see an eerie emptiness stretching into the distance. Passengers exchanged bewildered glances, but no one dared to step off the train. Growing impatient, I decided to explore the station briefly, convinced that a quick walk might ease my restlessness. As I stepped onto the platform, an eerie sensation gripped me. The station seemed devoid of life, and the air was thick with an unsettling stillness. Panic began to creep in, urging me to retrace my steps and return to the safety of the train. Just as I was about to head back, a man appeared from the shadows. He was disheveled, with a shabby coat and a wild look in his eyes. He mumbled incoherently, making me instantly wary of his intentions. I attempted to distance myself, but he followed, his unnerving presence inching closer with every step. In a sudden twist, the man abruptly vanished into the darkness. Panic surged through me, realizing that I was now abandoned at this eerie station with no sign of the train or other passengers. The station seemed to have transformed into a labyrinth of shadows, and an overwhelming sense of dread settled over me. Summoning all my courage, I retraced my steps, desperately searching for any sign of the train's return. As minutes turned to hours, an eerie quiet enveloped the station once more. Just as hope was fading, distant lights pierced the darkness, the train was finally approaching. With a pounding heart, I sprinted towards it, barely jumping onto the moving train as it pulled away from the forsaken station. I looked back, the Hauntings station was getting far from me, giving me a great sigh of relief.